Hello everyone, I am Prantik Chatterjee from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, IIT Kanpur. I will be presenting my work on distributed bounded model checking. This work was done in collaboration with Professor Shubhajit Roy, Department of Computer Science, IIT Kanpur, Bui from University of Uppsala, Sweden, and Dr. Akash Lal from Microsoft Research, India. In this work, we look at the problem of program verification. Program verification is determining whether given a program P and a specification R, does there exist any execution of P that violate R? Verification tasks are often too large. It may take a long time to solve by employing a single machine. Since these days we have large computational resources readily available, we should try to speed up verification by distributing it across multiple machines. This is our objective in this work. One of the popular ways to verify programs is called symbolic model checking. In this approach, given a program P and a specification R, we encode P and R into a logical formula where R is encoded as a simple assertion. This logical formula is called a verification condition or VC. The VC is then fed to a SMT solver. Given a logical formula, the job of an SMT solver is to determine whether the formula is satisfiable or not. If the SMT solver finds that the VC is unsatisfiable, then we can say that the program is safe. And if it is satisfiable, then the program is unsafe. In symbolic model checking, the VC may often become too large, which is why we often generate a VC by only exploring a subset of the program paths. This means that we unroll loops and recursive procedures only unto a certain depth. This approach is called bounded model checking. Now let us take a look at VC generation with the help of an example. VC of a procedure P, which takes an input X, signifies that P has a terminating execution starting from X if and only if VC of P is satisfiable. In the left, we have a program. There is a starting procedure main which modifies three integer variables X, Y, Z and a Boolean variable C. Main has 5 basic blocks. From block L0, we can non-deterministically jump to L1 or L2. In L1, we assume that C is true, call foo on xz, and then go to L3. The procedure call in L1 is called a call site. In L2, we assume that C is false, call bar on xz, and then go to L3. This translates to saying that if C is true, call foo, else call bar. Then in L3, we call bars on Y and finally check for an assertion violation in L4. To generate the VC, for each block K, we define Vk, a fresh Boolean variable, Ik, a unique integer constant, successors of K as the set of successor blocks of K, Fik, which is a function which defines control flow from K. For example, if Fik equal to Is, then we say control may pass from Kth block to the block S. And then Ek, which is a conjunction of all expressions in K. Now for each block K, we say that Bk implies Ek and control must go through at least one of the successors blocks of K in order for the VC of K to be satisfiable. For example, if we want to construct the procedural VC or PVC of main, we start by conjuncting the VC of all the blocks. So it's B0 and B0 implies B1 and control flows through 1, or B2 and control goes to 2. B1 implies C and B foo and control flows to 3, and then B foo implies the PVC of foo. Similarly, we construct the rest of the VC. Now let us take a look at an algorithm called stratified inlining, which does bounded model checking. Stratified inlining takes as input a program P and first generates an abstraction of P. Then it tries to define the abstraction of P to determine the safety with respect to the given specification. We start from main and include all the call sites of main into a set C. Then we iteratively do the following. We construct an abstraction of P by blocking execution through all call sites in C. This is called an under approximation. This represents a subset of the behavior of P. If this is found to be unsafe, then P is definitely unsafe, and we return with the conclusion unsafe and the corresponding execution trace. Now we open all call sites in C. This is called an over approximation of P, which represents a superset of the behavior of P. If this is safe, then P is definitely safe, and we return by concluding such. Otherwise, if the over approximation query is unsafe, we take the execution trace and refine the abstraction of P by inlining all call sites on the execution trace. The inline call site C prime are removed from C, and all children of the inline call sites are added to C. Thus, the refinement continues until we can determine the safety of the program or we reach the bound. Coral is a tool which implements this stratified inlining algorithm, and this is used by Microsoft to verify the safety of device driver programs. Now let us take a look at how to under approximate the PVC of main. To do this, at first we do not assert the PVC of foo, bar or bars. In the PVC of main, rather we assert not of b foo, not of b bar, and not of b bars. This makes the whole formula unsatisfiable. So then we move to the over approximation phase. In the over approximation phase, we remove the assertions from the under approximation phase and let b foo, b bar, and b bars remain as free variables. Hence, the formula can become satisfiable by making either b0, b1, b3, b4 true, or making b0, b2, b3, b4 true. Since the over approximation query is satisfiable, we move to the inlining phase. In the inlining phase, if we get the execution trace b0, b1, b3, b4 as true, then we find all the call sites in these blocks and assert their procedural VCs. As you can see, in this case, we have asserted b foo implies PVC of foo and b bars implies PVC of bars. So in this way, stratified inlining continues to refine the program. As the inlining proceeds, we can construct a tree as shown. Since from inside main, we have inlined foo and bars, these two call sites become children of main in the tree. Similarly, when we inline some other call sites in foo, they will become the descendants in the subtree of foo. Now the question is, can we split the verification tasks so that we can verify P parallelly? Originally in stratified inlining, the verification would have progressed like this. First, we inline foo and bars from inside main, and when this part of P is verified, we would have inlined and verified all execution traces through bar and all the call sites in bar. Now consider a scenario. When we inline foo and bars in main, we construct two different partitions of P. In the left partition, we evaluate only those execution traces which always go through foo. We call this must reach foo. And in the right partition, we only evaluate those execution traces which never go through foo. We call this must avoid foo. So in the right partition, we will end up inlining bar and all its children. Now we can verify these two partitions parallelly. And finally, we can conclude P as safe if both of these partitions are safe, and P is unsafe if any of these partitions are unsafe. Of course, we do not only split two times, we can split these two partitions as well to increase parallelism. The must reach and must avoid on call sites are called split decisions. Now let us take a look at how to encode these decisions as logical constraints. Must avoid on a call site C is simple. We can just assert not of control variable of C. On the other hand, must reach C is a little more involved. Consider a scenario where the call site C is in some block L in a procedure P. To do must reach of C, we first define must reach of P as following. For each block L in P, we take a fresh Boolean variable RL, and then we say must reach P is a conjunct over all blocks wherein each block RL implies that control must flow to L from at least one of its predecessor blocks. After constructing must reach P, we can do must reach C by asserting RL and must reach of P. If P is called from some block M of a parent procedure Q, then we have to do must reach on the call site of P in Q as well. In this way, we construct must reach constraints recursively. Now the question is, can we split on any arbitrary call site? Consider the control flow graph shown in this example. From main, we may go to foo, which modifies x, then to buzz, which modifies z, and finally check for an assertion violation on z. Or we may go from main directly to buzz and then check for the assertion violation. Now, if we split on the call site of foo, the must avoid part will inline buzz and all its children in order to check for assertion violation. In the must reach part, we will not have to inline any children of foo, as foo does not modify z. So this part will also inline buzz and all its children. In order to check for assertion violation, so splitting on foo is useless, as both the partitions export the same proof of the program. If, however, foo modified z, then the two partitions would have explored different proofs. It is clear that choosing a split candidate carefully is necessary. Therefore, to choose a split candidate, we make use of the unsat code. So whenever we get an under approximation query as unsat, we extract the minimal unsat code. Now, what is the minimal unsat code? Given an unsatisfiable formula phi expressed as a conjunction of clauses phi1 to phi2, phi I up to phi n, a minimal unsat code is a minimal subset of clauses psi which is a subset of phi, such that whose conjunction is still unsatisfiable and every proper subset of psi is satisfiable. Now, inline call sites which are not part of the unsat code are search irrelevant, because at this point of search, whether or not they were inline is irrelevant to conclude the safety of the program. Therefore, we should only consider splitting on a call site which appear on the unsat code. We have implemented our distributed verification algorithm in a tool called Hydra. Hydra is built on top of Coral, which implements stratified inline. We run the server node of Hydra on one machine and then multiple client nodes on other machines. The clients are Coral instances which performs verification and split the tasks whenever they can. So Hydra works like this. At first, server sends the program to the first client. The first client then starts verification, and the other clients are now idle. Then at some point of time, client 1 decides to split the program into two partitions on some call site C. So we now have two partitions, which is must avoid C and must reach C. Now client 1 continues work on the must avoid part while it sends the must reach part to the server. The server then enqueues this task in its queue. Then the server finds some idle client, dequeues the task and sends this task to client 2. Now client 2 continues work on these must reach C partitions while client 1 is working on the must avoid partitions. So in this way, client 1 and client 2 will continue working and they will again split and send tasks to the server. The server will again enqueue the tasks and find some other idle clients and then send these excess tasks to them. Now we have some server side optimizations in place. The first one is for load balancing, which is a variation of the work stealing algorithm. So these queues that I was talking about, so server keeps a queue for each client. Now whenever a client finds that its own queue is empty, it picks a task from the client which has the largest queue. So in this way, load is balanced among all these clients. And then we also have this feedback directed splitting. So we can understand that splitting too many times is not good, and splitting the number of splits being too low is also not good, as a lot of clients will be kept waiting. So instead we try to balance the splits such that no client is kept waiting and the splits are also not too large. So this is our experimental setup. We perform all our experiments on static driver verifier benchmarks. These are benchmarks which exercise all features of the C language, and these are also real-life Windows device driver benchmarks. From these benchmarks, we select only those benchmarks which are hard for Coral to solve. And finally, we run Hydra with 32 clients to solve these hard benchmarks. Then we compare the verification time of Hydra with that of Coral. This is the experimental results in which we saw the number of solved instances, solved by both Hydra and Coral. So out of all the hard instances, there were 41% of instances which were neither solved by Hydra or Coral. So note that when I am talking about solving, we set the time for solve by Hydra and Coral to 1 hour. So if they cannot solve by 1 hour, then we consider it as unsolved or time down instances. So out of all these hard instances, there were a very small percentage, which is 4%, that were solved by Coral but were not able to be solved by Hydra. There were 25% instances which were solved by both Coral and Hydra, and there were 30% instances which Hydra could solve but Coral could not. Now this is a comparison of verification time by Hydra and Coral. So in y-axis we have plotted time taken by Hydra, and in x-axis we have plotted time taken by Coral. As we can see, time taken by Hydra is comparatively very small compared to time taken by Coral. This is our experimental results, which provide how many times of speed up we get over Coral using Hydra. So as you can see, most of the times we get 5 to 10x or 10 to 30x speed up, and on average over all these instances we get approximately 20x speed up. Now we perform an experiment with on the scalability of Hydra. So we ran Hydra with 1 client, 2 client, 4 client, 8 client, 16 client, and 32 clients. In 1 client, it is basically evaluating all these partitions sequentially. As we can see, the plot shows the number of instances solved as we continually increase the number of clients. As you increase the number of clients, the number of instances solved also increases. So this means that Hydra is also scalable. So we have developed a verification engine Hydra that can distribute a bounded model checking task across multiple clients. Our experiments also show that Hydra is significantly faster than Coral. Hydra is open source and available at the Hydra branch of this following repository, and a preprint of our paper is also available at the following link. This paper is currently under submission. Thank you.